Hey guys, so I just got back from seeing from the theater from seeing Back on the Strip. I'm sure probably a good chunk of you are probably wondering what the fuck is that. Um, yeah, it's another in a long list of movies that I've seen this year of random shit that my Regal Cinemas decides to play, and I'm always the only one in the theater. Like, why are they playing these fucking movies? And now I guess you could say nowadays that like, well, there are a lot of movies being pushed back, and I think that's probably what's happening. Like, a lot of movies are being pushed back. I think this weekend was supposed to be like White Bird. That poor movie. That movie has been delayed like so many goddamn times, and it got delayed again because of the strike. And I did hear it might be coming out by the end of the year. I'm like, that poor movie. Like, is that movie ever going to come out? So like, I'm thinking that's what's happening where Regal is like, okay, we don't have enough fucking movies to play, so we'll just pick some random shit that no one's heard of, that nobody's gonna see, and nobody's gonna that's not that like is not gonna fill a theater or an auditorium. So what the fuck is the point? But I don't know. Anyways, so of course this is another one. Like I said, another one of those movies that I was the only one in there, and I'm probably the only person that this whole week that'll probably see it. Probably one of the few people that will actually see it this week. Um, this was a movie that I actually like when I first started, like this popped up on the listings. I was like, "What the fuck is this movie?" And then I looked at the cast list and I looked at the plot synopsis and oh, I do remember getting a trailer for this one time, and I remember it did was memorable because it had Wesley Snipes in it, and he was a part of a former stripping group called the Chocolate Chips. That made me laugh. I'm not. I did laugh my ass off when I heard the name. There's a stripping group called the Chocolate Chips, but that's all I remember. And I'm like, I remember I think that the trailer looked like shit, but I didn't go back and watch the trailer. I'm like, maybe it's not that bad. It's not Wesley Snipes. I'm looking at the fucking cast list. I'll talk about that a little bit more, but I'm looking at the cast list. I'm like, holy shit, this has actually got a pretty impressive cast list. There's some pretty good, funny actors. Like this, maybe it won't be that bad. Wrong, dude. This is one of the worst fucking movies I've sat through this year so fucking far. It's not the worst. Skidamaring's still the worst. But this is one of the worst. This was one of the most insufferable sits I've had to sit through in a while. I hated this movie. I fucking hated this movie. I like okay. If you want to know what the fuck the plot of this movie is, it's about it's about this kid who at 15 years old, all he ever wanted to do was become a magician. And he had this girl that he was infatuated with since he was a teenager. And she was like his assistant. They would do talent, or they would do magic tricks. Whenever he would do magic tricks, she would be his assistant. And they go to do a talent show, and they have a talent show at their high school, and these white wanksters or racially challenged kids uh, think that or pull a prank on him basically and pull his pants down and he has no underwear on and he has a big dick, and that's the joke. He has a big dick and all the fucking grown ass women at a high school auditorium are flipping out like, oh my god, he's well hung, like he is blessed. And that's like the running joke with this character throughout the whole fucking movie is that he has a big dick. And then so cuts like 4 years later, he is now a clown at like birthday parties. I don't know why. He went from high school to being a clown at little kids' birthday parties, and then there's Kevin Hart, who is a dad the dad of the daughter whose birthday it is, and it's Kevin Hart for one fucking scene, just so he can yell at the guy because the guy's bouncing up and down and his dick's flopping in the clown suit. And I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. At that point, I'm like, dude, what am I watching? So he ends up going to Las Vegas where he becomes, or where he's having trouble finding a gig to become a magician, so he ends up becoming a male stripper instead, because Wesley Snipes is a former retired male stripper who sees him and sees his talents, and he decides to recruit him to bring back this stripping group, that's called the Chocolate Chips, and they're all old guys now, including a white guy who was dressed who had a spray tan or something like that to trick everybody and think he was black, and wore a mask, and that's the joke. This movie fucking sucks. It sucks. It's got okay. This is the casting in this movie. I don't know who the fuck the main actor was. He was not fucking important. He sucked anyways. You have Tiffany Haddish as his mom, as the kid's mom, who narrates the whole fucking movie and talks about how gifted her son is with his giant schlong. That's fucking weird. It's not funny. It's fucking weird. And that's all she is. This is Tiffany Haddish of old. The Tiffany Haddish that I can't fucking stand, where she's basically a female version of Chris Tucker, the bad version of Chris Tucker, and where she is just obnoxious and annoying and not funny, and it's get off my screen kind of fucking heat. Like I said, Wesley Snipes is in this. Kevin Hart is in one fucking scene. JB Smoove. Bill Bellamy. What fucking ditch did they dig him out of? Faison Love. And at that point, I'm looking at like all these casting. I'm like, what fucking decade is this movie? Did this movie come out? Is this 2023 or is this 1990 or 2000? Because this movie feels like a movie that felt like it was sitting. The script for this movie sat on a shelf for like 30 years, and now it's being fucking made. That's exactly what this movie fucking felt like, especially with the casting. Like I said, Wesley Snipes is fucking underutilized, to say the fucking least. He is probably the best part of this movie, and he's barely in it. He's like, there's like long periods of stretches of time where he just disappears and not seen again. You got people like Kevin Hart, who apparently he's just going back to his roots of making shitty comedies again. God, this movie sucked. Like, Tiffany Haddish, like, the one fucking joke, like, this is the kind of quality jokes you get in this movie, right? Where she's talking to her son, and she says, man, I keep having... I gotta have you move out eventually, because it's hard to keep having all these guys come in my back door and not make all this noise. And he's like, well, I didn't know we had a back door. She's like, well, we don't. And then she just stares at the camera for like a minute, and just the movie stops. Because just like, so everybody can, she's talking about the back door. She's talking about her asshole. Like, fuck you. Just fuck off in this piece of fucking shit. Not funny comedy. It's weird. It's not funny. I didn't laugh one fucking time. So many dick jokes, and it's trying to be Magic Mike, and it's not. Like, fuck this movie, man. I hated this movie. I fucking hated this movie. It's awful. It's not funny. It's long. It's 2 hours, too. It's like, it fucking felt like 5 hours. Like, this movie dragged on forever and ever and ever. And it just, especially when it's a comedy and it's not fucking funny, it makes it even worse. So, yeah. Fuck this movie. If you haven't figured it out, don't go see this movie. Go see Strays. I missed the subtlety of Strays. That was a lot better of a fucking comedy than this shit. And you know what? The funniest part about this fucking movie is that was not the worst thing I saw today. The worst thing I saw today was a trailer I got in front of this fucking movie that looks even fucking worse than this movie. I don't even know how that fucking is possible. Like, it looks like the fucking director of Unfavorable Odds is getting a new movie. Guess what? It's called. I'm not making this up. Not Another Church Movie, where it's Jamie Foxx, fucking Mickey Rourke. I forget who else, and it's a parody of Tyler Perry movies. What? It's a parody of comedies. And it's so horribly looking and so horribly made. I think that's the fucking joke. But it's really makes Tyler Perry's movies look impressive. And it's like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, there's some horrible looking like shots in this movie. Like amateur hour. Like, dude, me recording this on a fucking webcam looks more impressive than some of the shit I saw in that trailer. Like, what the fuck was that? And that is a thing I think that is literally coming. I was like, that could not be coming out. Oh, and the joke is, it's not Tyler Perry. It's a guy. It's about a guy who wants to make movies or something. He dresses in drag, and his name is Tyler Ferry. Fuck you. Fuck this. Dude, this is the stuff that makes me go, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life when I'm sitting in a fucking theater by myself on my day off watching shit like back on the strip and seeing trailers like this? I don't know if I even want to do this anymore. Like, I don't get paid to do this. Why am I doing this? Fuck. Yeah, fuck this. Fuck this movie. Fuck everything, dude. Like, I like Strays, and I was like, I didn't go see Blue Beetle. I should have got to see Blue Beetle, but I will see that later this week. I will have a review eventually later this week of Blue Beetle, but fuck. Don't go see Back on the Strip. I'm getting off here. I gotta get to work late tomorrow. So until then, I'll talk to you guys later.